Hi there, I'm Terry Billison. I am the turfgrass entomologist at NC State, and I'm going to talk to you for a few minutes today about insect management. So the theme of what I want to discuss in these few minutes is that insecticide timing is really going to be the biggest key to your insect management. And this is going to be really important when we're talking about any kinds of insects. Mole crickets, billbugs, even fall armyworms, right? And how we keep track of insecticide timing and maximizing our product efficacy is by keeping track of the insects themselves, right? Looking at these systems, seeing what the insects are doing, knowing what they're doing, and then we respond accordingly. A really good example of that is going to be an insect we've been working with for a number of years in western North Carolina, and that's the annual bluegrass weevil. This is an incredibly destructive insect pest that is a problem in cool season turf grasses, and what we've seen is that there's a whole lot that we don't know about it. This has been an insect that's been a problem for decades in the northeastern United States, and a lot of the research that's been done on management has been conducted in states like New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. And what we've seen as we've studied it in North Carolina is that the behavior and maybe even the biology is different here than what we've seen in the Northeast. And so what our research has focused on in the last couple of years is really looking at how this insect moves in the system. When is it active? When are different life stages present? And then most importantly, how is that affecting our timing for management? And so we've done a lot of night scouting. We've been going out at night with our headlamps, looking at these insects, seeing when they're active, seeing how they're responding to the insecticides that we're applying, and trying to get a good handle and get a customized management plan for North Carolina. And what we found is timing is different here. The life stages behave differently. And we've even have evidence to suggest that we're actually dealing with multiple species in this system. It's not just one weevil, there's a couple of them in there. And so this is why insect research is important, right? This is all unknown until we get into the system and we look for it and we track them. And so from a manager perspective, on a smaller scale, keeping track of these insects is going to be important for your insecticide applications as well. Knowing when the adults are active. So with annual bluegrass weevil, in the Northeast, they largely target the larvae, those little grubs that are in the soil. The larvae are really difficult to find in North Carolina. You really don't find them unless you've already seen pretty significant damage occur. Since our goal is to avoid significant damage, instead we track the adults. We put out soap flushes every week. We keep track of those adult numbers. When we see those numbers start to increase, we apply an adulticide. And what we found is that not only can we not make a kind of blanket recommendation for North Carolina as a state, or even the western region of the state, but that timing applications are really maximized when it's site by site. So different superintendents will send me numbers and I say, you spray this week, you spray another week. And that's really how we've gotten kind of to maximize that product efficacy. This is going to be true for a lot of insects. The more we research the system, the more we sample, the more we find out what the insect's doing, the better we can make our management recommendations and hopefully avoid any kind of significant damage. So all in all, the theme is insect research is really important. We've kept very busy this summer. We've been traveling all over the state. We've got trials basically everywhere looking at least 6 or 7 different types of insects. And this is all before fall armyworms have gotten crazy, because we're about 2 weeks out from the peak of fall armyworm activity last year, which was around the first week of August. So stay vigilant and keep supporting this research, because it's super important and we're here to help you. So we will continue to improve our recommendations in the future, and thank you very much.